And we are back from a little 2-week hiatus.
Yes.
And it was nice, I'm not going to lie.
It's pretty chill.
But back to work.
Back at it. Back in the saddle.
Corydora with some pre-stream entertainment.
That's funny.
My issue is that the recent reclassification, I might need to change my account to Osteogaster.
That made me LOL. So funny.
But remember, even Osteogasters are Corydonoridanes.
You're never safe. You have to know. Like
Corydoridae.
They're gonna change it in 2 weeks. Just
So you can still go by Cory.
what is happening here? That's gonna drive me crazy. Roger that.
Audio video good. Thank you, Zenny.
Happy Monday. Got a case of the Mondays today.
TGIM.
Ugh, Tigum. Nobody's excited about that. Although I used
That's
to have
not a
Mondays
lie.
off.
You're excited for Mondays because you like to stream. You say it all the time.
Yeah, I do like. Well, I feel like I like it. I like it because the few times we do talk about fish, it's nice to hear everybody's situation and impart. Everybody's imparting of knowledge.
Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration. What's up, buddy?
Anybody got any new fish? Anybody? Anything cool? I really want. I'm just gonna say it again.
Starting off the stream with a yawn.
I want an ellipsifer eel. If anybody has any knowledge of one for like under $100, I'd even take a little teeny one. Which they're always big, I feel like, but I really want one.
I feel like there's a joke there somewhere, but I'll just let it slide.
Wrong stream for that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we can't have any fun.
My mind's still in the gutter from the last stream, of the last hour.
And I'm not one to push this, but you guys, the member streams are pretty funny. Like, the stuff we talk about is pretty funny. It's worth the price of admission, in my opinion, but it gets really out there to the
Yeah, welcome back to membership, Mountaintop Puffer Keeper.
Ooh, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
And we haven't forgot about you. We're still waiting for the wet spot to get more ABIs in stock one of these days.
We were just talking about it not long ago. We do not forget about that. It's so weird to me how weird, like, they have things for so long and then they're gone for like a very extended period of time. It's annoying.
What kind of eel? The ellipsifer eel. They're from Lake Tanganyika or Lake Tanganyika or Lake Tang.
I'm currently laying my eyes on one too often and it's very tempting. It's very tempting. Really like it a lot. It's pretty cute.
The wet spot did get some Fantiques in stock for anyone looking for some.
That's right.
Tetras from the Congo.
Oh, they're so good. They're so worth. I know I don't even have any, but they're so worth that amount of money. If you have those in your tank, when they get bigger, people are just gonna be like, "Oh my god."
Glad to be back to continue the conversation.
Good one, Steven. I should have known you'd get that in there. Good job. Well
Jody
played.
got 8 Kubutai Rasboras and 4 banded coolie loaches.
Oh, nice.
That's
a good purchase. Good job. I like that. You'll enjoy those. You'll enjoy the coolie loaches the 3 times you ever see them in your life. But I still love coolie loaches. I always have them. We have them somewhere. I think I found them in the top 40.
They are somewhere.
I think they're in the top 40 with all the other wiggly things.
Which is why we don't see them, because they're on the top row.
I forget we have a Grashafai eel, which is another West African eel. I forget about it completely, and then every now and then when the bloodworms go in, it pops out. I'm like, oh yeah, we have this super cool eel. Totally forgot about that.
Cheryl says, I want some Kubutai Rasboras. They're
great.
I don't know if they're my favorite, but they're definitely top 3.
I had them and I loved them.
I feel like if I say they're my favorite, then I'm going to remember something else that's my favorite. So I just go top 3.
I kept them with my pea puffers. And they did fine. Those are just, I'm not really a big fan of nanofish normally, to be perfectly honest, but I do love me some Kubutai Rasbora.
Matt says, got some Aru4 Gertrude coming tomorrow from Dan. Use your code as usual. Thanks. Oh, well, thank you. You're the one that got them.
Oh, you saw?
I can see what people buy, but I can't see who bought them.
And it's the opposite at Wet Spot. It drives me
I can
nuts.
see who bought them, but not what they bought.
I can never make the connection. It drives me crazy. That's why we always ask.
And Moonlight, I have no idea what anything goes on.
What goes on there. But still, it's really exciting for me when you guys then say, oh, I got it, because then it's cool. It's like, oh, we saw that, but we didn't know.
Oh, you're the one.
You're the one. And sometimes I get really excited when people order. I'm like, yes, this was a good order.
You're still the one
Oh.
That's all I know. You're still
Run
the one
to.
Run to.
The one that I belong to. I could just speak the lyrics for you.
So anyways.
You started it.
Hey, Fish Fam link. That link's got to go. It's no longer.
Oh, yeah.
No longer
Null
there.
and void. Unfortunately,
Hey.
it's no good. It's
No,
no
just
good.
kidding. Still use the link. Go buy stuff from them. Go buy
You should always
stuff.
buy stuff from them. I mean, they have good stuff. You should buy good stuff. You know what I mean?
Regina says, I keep neon green rasboras with my spotted Congo or my Congo spotted puffer.
Yep, I can see that. You know, I've never seen any of my Congo puffers, my spotted Congo puffers, go after any fish ever. I've never seen it. They get a little pissy sometimes and maybe go like, get away from me. Like, it's funny because when ours eat the snails, all of the other fish in the tank, the buffalo head, the all of the, what are they? The barbs, everything just comes over and starts eating the little bits of snail that like come out when they're eating it, and they get a little pissed off sometimes about that. They do get a little, but I've never seen them go after anything, and I feel like that's a really cool combination. I like it. A larger one, what?
Your ellipsifer eel.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, Leo. I saw they have it at the water box. Is it right? Is that?
Elser says, love the flame Corys. Wish they were available in Australia. I wish I could afford them.
God, I am obsessed. I think they look like the Corydora version of the Margite.
I hope they sell out, but I also hope they don't, so that they're still there when we go and I can see them in person.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. Oh, I don't know when we're going, though. When are we going?
We are going at the end of August.
That's when we're going. Okay. That's when we're going.
And then we're also
Finally.
going at the end of September for Fishtoberfest.
Oh, yeah. September Fishtoberfest. Yeah, yeah, Mountaintop. I don't think I've ever seen them even go after a shrimp, ever. They're very chill. Like, they are the chillest puffer I know of. I've never met a nicer puffer. I see pea puffers get ruder with snails and shrimp than...
Davo says, I tried to order from the wet spot and they wouldn't take the Steenfott 10 thing. Have you already used it?
Because make a new email, Dave.
You can use it once and then it's good for like a month. So if you order again, maybe it's 2 weeks or something. I'm not sure how long it's good for.
It's a finite period of time.
Yeah, if you need to use it again, just make a new email.
You didn't hear it here, but that's what everybody does everywhere. So in everything like this in life. And I don't think they really care as long as you're, you know.
And don't be sleeping on Moonlight Aquatics, people. They get a lot of rare stuff for a very reasonable price.
The gobies that they have and like the amount of rainbow fish that they have. I've never seen that many of any of those types of fish anywhere, like in a storefront. It's crazy.
They had last time we were there, they had adult zebras for $129. That is crazy.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Zebra plecos.
Yeah. They have and like the wild bettas. I saw so many. I was like, yes, this is the kind of stuff I want to see in stores. I'm really happy because it's the kind of stuff I like. And I think I've mentioned this. It's if you order online and have it shipped after $400, free shipping. I could spend $400 in that store in 30 seconds. Like I already have it done in my brain. You know what I mean? Like it's that easy.
And speaking of $400, I want to show you guys, like that segue, I want to show you guys some really cool fish from Dan that's very, very reasonably priced. Like insane.
Yeah. I'd buy these for
the
sure.
red tail penguin tetras with location for $19.99, and I know, $20 for a penguin tetra.
You know what?
Don't be one of those people, folks. Nobody likes those people.
We've seen these in real life, not at Dan's, but we've seen this specific type of penguin tetra in real life. They're beautiful. They're really
This
cool.
is another one that was $50, not just a year ago.
That black bar that they have there's a blue-green iridescent sheen over the whole thing. Like pictures don't do them justice. They're really, really pretty and they're active. They're just really fun to watch. Great, and aren't they pretty easy to spawn? I feel like people have been having success.
Well, if they're already 50, or if they're already
they
20,
dropped
down for
that
50,
fast in 6 months or whatever it was, maybe 8 months, something like that.
Or maybe they just found the sweet spot in nature to collect
could be
from.
It. But I feel like I heard.
No, it says aquarium bred and raised.
I heard they were relatively easy. That people have been having a pretty decent time spawning them. So
I mean, let's be honest, most tetras are.
Yeah, I feel that way. Yeah, I think it's how much you want them to do it and how much you're willing to try. You know, like how much effort are you going to put into it. For sure, all puffers here default to not bothering. You know, puffers get a bad rap, and so many of them don't deserve it.
Before FishTube was the thing, There was only like one species of freshwater puffer.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone
that's
thought
right.
they were all brackish.
They're all brackish.
Everyone said that like maboos are like the angriest fish in the world, and
Right.
I've never seen an angry maboo ever.
This is why I don't listen to 90% of the stuff I hear unless it's someone I trust telling me. I don't go online and read things and go, I'm listening to that. That's why I've tried so many things myself without having a clue how it was going to turn out. And honestly, most of the time turns out better than if I listen to someone else's advice who has no idea about my situation. And puffers have been a big part of that, finding out how nice so many, like the red-eye red-tail puffers. I know it can vary given, your batch of fish, but like we kept them together forever. They were always together. And they're really chill too, especially the females. Everybody just gets a bad rap. You're a puffer, you get a bad rap.
I'm trying to figure out. Oh, pseudomagills. Yep. Everyone should also own pseudomagills. I don't care what kind they have. The funnest. We'll really put it on the B-roll scene so everyone can see them.
Happy little fish, aren't they? They are just joyful little fish.
Oh, the green screen.
They always look happy to me, and I like fish like that. They just are very upbeat, very upbeat fish.
Can I get that off the screen maybe a little bit?
However, I have a hankering to redo our West African tank, so I've got like all that on my brain right now.
Hairy puffers get a really bad rap. That's one of my favorite. That's my favorite colony. I've always, way back when I got my first hairy puffer in like 2016, I was like, I wonder if I can keep these in a group.
They're so cool. Their faces are amazing. Puffers are just such like
misunderstood.
Well, and I will tell you that anytime I post anything like on my like my Instagram where I have like all my friends and family follow, if it's fish related, some of them will care sometimes, but whenever I post stuff about puffers, they're like, oh my God, that fish. Puffers just like elicit behavior from people. They're so different looking and so cool, and just they don't look like normal fish. And I feel like people who don't care about fish care about puffers. They're super cool. Plus those videos of the giant ones in Hawaii that people like hand feed. It's pretty cool.
Jody says the coolies are hanging out in the Reekia.
Nice.
Just loving life.
That's good. You got a wily batch there.
Green tea, $20 for a penguin tetra?
That's funny. Yeah, because if it was a penguin tetra, that'd be ridiculous. But
I always get so like, I don't even know what the word is, but like when I made that video this weekend on the Hephaestus Cory, someone's like, that fish is way too much. $100 for a Cory, that's too much.
I saw that.
$100 for, I'm like,
then don't buy it.
Then it makes no sense. Like every hobby has an expensive version of something and a really common cheap version of something.
That's just life. Like, and if you don't want to spend that much, you don't have to. There's alternatives that you can get. Maybe not as cool, because I think those fireball, they're very cool. Like I'm not really a Cory person. I like them, but those are very cool.
Did you guys ever make it back to the West Spot again? We are scheduled for the end of August. As a matter of fact, I'm going to confirm that date right now because I forgot to respond.
That's right. Regina, I want to redo all tanks all the time. I have like ADD when it comes to fish tanks because I have ideas and then I want to redo. It's easier when it's like a 40 breeder. If I want to redo a 40 breeder, it's not that big of a deal, but like 125s and whatnot, that's an endeavor. But yeah, I always have different ideas. I've been trying to find videos on the Congo River Basin and, underwater footage of their actual habitat where they come from. And it's so hard to find good footage because people just don't go into the Congo and come back or even bother with it. But I found one channel where this guy's got some pretty good footage. So I want to do more like it's a lot of just like open water and plants, like lots of plants. It's pretty cool. So that's why.
Can we talk about Cory reclassification? I'm super confused. Well, I'd say give it about 5 years. It'll probably all get changed back.
That's what I said. It'll just happen again.
I've done a little bit of work into it because I wanted to post like a chart on my website. And I got so annoyed that I quit working on it. It's just like.
Because it's just ridiculous. What's going to happen eventually. They're going to go at it again and change it again. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Oliver Lucanis I've been told he's got a video on his channel that explains it very well. I haven't watched it yet. And I think that's his channel's Below Water.
Oliver Lucanis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Below Water.
So look up Below Water.
It's one of my favorite channels, honestly.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's
a very good channel. Like everyone should be subscribed to
If you're not, I don't know why you're not, honestly. It doesn't have nearly the amount of subscribers that it should. I'm I'm someone who just really likes to see natural habitats, and he gives so much great footage of just the fish in nature. You see all the different species that live together that you think, I could never keep these together. They live together. They literally live amongst each other in nature, and it's just fine. It helps a lot.
It was his last video is the Corydora names, so.
And he has a lot of helpful videos like that. I just think it's a solid channel, and I don't know why. I mean, I know a lot of people within the hobby do know about it, but I think a lot of people don't either, and they should, because it's a great channel.
It's not for people who just want Petco fish. That's the thing. That's why it's not popular.
It's very like obscure fish. He works really hard to get good footage of these fish that you don't normally see. So it's quite nice. I know, below water. Oh, below water. I didn't see that.
Mitchell Broom, we're kind of joking when we say that, but Mitchell says, so I will say the Corys have not had a major overhaul in the last 20 years. They have had some species-specific changes, but not for the genus. So the fear it's going to go back is, I don't mean it like, it's just, I feel like it's just going to get changed again, not go back.
Yeah.
But I mean,
they're constantly changing.
In under a year, they redid the Aspidoras in September of 2023, and now it's already changed again. I don't know.
I just don't trust it. I don't trust him not to do something weird. Yeah, underwater footage of the super dense plant. It's great. That's what's so helpful to me. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see how things are set up, where they come from, and that's why I love his channel and channels like that, where you just get quiet footage or just talking over, saying this is what's here, this is what's going on. There's no like crazy loud music or weird stuff going on. It's just the fish. It's great. And plants and hardscape.
Alex says, experiment started today, drained 55 down to 1/3 full, removed shrimp and snails, covered 1/3 of substrate in pebbles. Covered that in subswasser tang and put in 2 female cherry barbs, and want to spawn and raise up in 1 tank. Well, I think you're going to need some males for that.
Maybe. I don't know a lot, but I think that you might. Eat mulm.
The change broke us to Corydoras and now back again. I don't know. I'm definitely not an expert. I'm just a hobbyist, but it seems like it changes a lot, at least in the last like year and a half. But maybe that was all part of the process. I don't know.
Yeah, mountaintop, the Rodzia alpina. He has stuff on there. He has a lot of different pike species that I've like been interested in learning more about, but you just don't know anything. There's like nothing. He's been very helpful to me in fish. I don't get a lot of helpful information that I don't just figure out myself, like I said, for my specific situation, but that kind of stuff really helps me.
How to send background footage? You just upload it into a Google Drive and then email me the link to steenfottaquatics@gmail.com.
Super simple. I want to redo my Oscars tank.
In a few days, letting the females fatten up.
No. You want to redo your Oscar tank? Not the Oscars, just the tank. Well, don't the Oscars redo the tank for you? I know they have a tendency to do that. Can you keep a lot with your Oscars? I know a lot of people can't. That's just because they like to do what big cichlids do.
Curtis Schindler with the $1 super chat. Thanks, you, buddy.
Dude. Lobster.
Right on schedule.
Lobster.
Oh, Suda McGill's right there.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not want
dang,
this?
Look at those fish. I mean, even when they're pissed off, they look amazing.
Matt West, what's up?
Hello.
Is the code Fireworks 10 still active? No. That was just for the holiday weekend.
Sunday, I think.
But Steenfott 10 is always active.
All the time. Great background. Good fish.
Mountaintop Puffer Keeper, if you're into gobies, below water has some amazing habitat videos of them as well.
Yep.
You can just spend hours watching his channel.
Yeah.
I remember I found his channel when it was like at 2,000 subscribers.
I've followed him for so long.
And I was like, how does this channel? And it wasn't called Below Water. It was something else.
It was, yeah. Oh my God.
It was like Biotopes something. I don't remember, but and then I got confused. I remember talking about it on a stream, and I couldn't find it after he changed the name because I didn't know he changed it. And I was like, where is this?
I just know that like I also follow him on Instagram, and he doesn't have like he has a very small following on Instagram, and he's always posting some super cool random fish. And I'm like, either I know little about it and then I go find out more about it, or I watch his like it really is. He does a good job. I mean, he gives a lot of talks. He travels around. Like Oliver Lucanis is all over the place, so he's pretty big in the fish keeping world. He's well respected. I know that he's definitely somebody people know of. Yeah, Oscars do like to move stuff around. Yeah, that's why I like with my cichlids, I could only keep a very small bastion of plants because they were just going to yank them out or eat them, or I just didn't even bother. They left the Kumbamba alone. That's about it. And the Anubias.
We'll be like just driving around running errands, and she'll have below water on Bluetooth through the car.
I do play that a lot.
And I'm like, it's not even fair. I can't even watch.
I'll
Like
try and prop it up so that maybe it
Oliver
like,
is like, look at these beautiful fish. I'm like, I can't.
I know. It is very, it's almost like Mr. Rogers to me in a really good way. Like his voice is calm. There's no, like I said, there's no loud noises or music. You hear the water, you see the fish. It's very soothing. Like it's informative. There's nothing bad about it. It's my kind of channel. I can't really do gimmicky stuff. I can't do, like I know too much and that just sounds bad, but like I just don't have interest in that type of,
Mitchell Broom says, I wish he was not based in Canada. He also gets some awesome fish, but he won't do shipping to the U.S. Well, I messaged him and he said he would ship to me. But he said there's something to do with customs I have to do, and I was just like, I don't want fish I don't want fish sitting in customs.
And to be
going
fair,
through God
his
knows
fish are very expensive for good reason. Like there's reasons why his fish are expensive. He has to import them. He finds them and brings them back, and so they are what they are supposed to be, and they're amazing. But yeah, it would be it would be one of those things where you did it like one time and did a really big order, and yeah. But I love his channel. Yeah, see, everybody likes it.
My LFS got in some glow light Danios. They must be super rare here. Very cool of them to offer some to me for free to spawn for them.
They're really cool.
That's a good relationship to have with an LFS.
Yeah. If they trust you, then I was given a lot of fish by one of my local fish stores, Splash. They give me all kinds of stuff, and I'd either spawn it or grow it out for like 6 months and bring it back giant, and like they were always stoked because they're like, we don't know how you get your fish this nice, this big, this quick. And I'm like, well, I feed them a lot of food. Like
I've done the opposite where I've sent people fish for free and like just give me half of the spawn, and then I never hear from them again.
That's very disheartening.
Yeah.
See, I'd always like if somebody does me a solid like that, I do not, especially a business. Also, when I like break stuff, they just give it to me, or they just like take that food, take the free food. Or when there was a shortage on live worms, they let me buy as much as I wanted when technically you were only supposed to be able to buy like one portion. I mean, just stuff like that where I was like, that makes a big difference to me. It may be small, but it's big to me.
B Sharp says, I tend to put people to sleep watching my videos. Thanks, whiskey and cigars. Those are the good videos, though.
Yeah, I like I don't need like boo 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 like all that kind of stuff.
Those videos annoy me.
Oh my god, I get so angry. I can't even if I click on a fish
and
video.
There's jump cuts every 5 seconds.
Or like weird crossfade, like fizzle. Like I just can't. I'm like, no, I just want to see the fish, please. Please just let me see the fish, and let me hear about them too, because there's also a lot of videos that I find where there's beautiful tanks, beautiful fish, but it's just very like soft music and no information, and I'm like, well, what is going on here? Like what is in this tank? So I do like the information as well.
Stefan.
Urkel. Oh, those were the days. I like the Mr. Rogers vibe. Like that's what I refer to it as, because that's the tone, right? Like it's just very.
And I'm feeding the fish right now.
Yeah. Bob Ross, like all that kind of stuff. Just like happy little trees.
I heard he was a serial killer.
I know. I've heard some weird stuff about Bob Ross recently too. I don't want to think about it.
Have you guys heard this? Like Bob Ross's paintings, they found.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Like dead bodies buried at these places that he's painted. So now, like, there's some conspiracy that he's a kind of a psycho. Allegedly. Let's let him rest in peace. He did great paintings. Oh, the videos my kids listen to are what I consider
I can't. It's too many. I feel like they're just a seizure waiting to happen. These kids shows now. They're like just flashing lights and loud noises. And I'm like, what is happening? These kids are overstimulated enough. Like, calm down. I don't need all this.
This is motivating me to get up and clean my tanks.
Good. Huh.
I totally let you guys come down and do a fish room house tour. Remind me again where you're at. I know you've told me before, but I forgot. Hoved. Hooved.
Yeah, where are you? I know, R.I.P. Bob Ross, right? Not buying into that. I know. Sometimes I'm like, I just can't.
It's fact that they have found bodies in these locations. That part is fact.
There's
but
just a lot of serial killers in the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. I mean,
Bob Ross was a Marine Corps drill sergeant.
That makes sense. I could see somebody needing peace after that, like doing that for a long time, like needing to be calm.
I'm not besmirching anyone. Calm down.
How dare you besmirch him? Hey, Kenny. Mr. Rogers and Mr. Wizard were the goats, and don't you dare be... Oh, that was the first
Who's
part
Mr. Wizard?
I don't know who Mr. Wizard is. I mean, I definitely...
don't know.
Yeah, why do I not know who that is? Should I?
I'm at a loss.
Oh, that's right. He's in Oregon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Dallas. That's
right.
Yeah. I always think of the airport.
It's not too far. I mean, it's not super close, but it's not far either. Imagine someone bound and gagged by the camera while he painted. That's funny. I don't dispute the facts on hand. Just don't.
Yeah, he could be one of the he could be one of those remote viewers that just sees things and you don't know.
Who knows? What are your thoughts on angelfish with 4 ventral fins? I have a spawn with 2 fry and 4 I mean, I don't have a whole... The thing is I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on angelfish personally. I know he's not a big into angelfish either. The only angels,
it wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell them. You know what I mean? Like, I'd keep them. I wouldn't try and sell them, but I don't think that's a problem. Like, I know that, sometimes they're born... Especially with angelfish, it can get kind of like weird. But the only ones I ever really kept were, I kept some like Rio Nene spotteds. I kept some of the Philippine blues, but I just never was really big into angelfish. My first tank ever, I had angelfish. That was like.
What is the last fish you guys bought? Wow, that's a good question. It's been a long time.
What is the last fish that we bought? Does it count if it came from Candy? We didn't buy it. The last fish we got were from Candy.
Shell dwellers.
They were shellies, but bought. I can't even. You know what? I'll tell you the last fish I bought was a belly crawler pike.
Oh, that's true.
I'm such a sucker. The poor thing sat at Petco for like 9 months. She was by herself.
And now you're part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem. You know what though?
You're just keeping that monster going.
It's because my homie that. It's one pike. I don't buy fish.
That's what everyone says when they
Shut up.
Buy one betta.
This poor pike had nowhere to hide, and what I know about pikes, it was just hurting my heart to watch this poor pike just be right out on Front Street with nowhere to be, and now she has a cave, and she can be all pikey and be in her cave, and it just fine. Whatever. If I'm part of the problem, at least she's got a better life. Makes me feel a little bit better. Any Sasquatch sightings? Not that I'm aware of.
Nope.
Not since I've been here. Really wish that there was some more activity. But why do I now I want to know who Mr. Wizard is. Why do I not know who that is? I feel so stupid. I hate that. Mr. Wizard. Oh, okay. Wow, that guy lived for a long time.
With all the storms this summer, do you guys ever collect the rainwater for any projects in the fish room? I did last year, but I didn't do any of that this year. I used to run a pump from the stream into my fish room, and I didn't do it this year.
The most we did this year was let it collect in a tub so that we could get the mosquito larvae out for our fish. Mm-hmm. That's the most we did with rainwater. And that worked just swimmingly, so...
Favorite epistogramma for my next breeding project? It's always going to be Benchai or the Inca 50.
For me, I like Personata. And ours do nothing. None of our freaking
Well, we would have to collect rainwater for the Personata.
I love those Personata, though. They're huge. I really like huge epistos. Big guy. Big old... Mr. Wizard showed you all the chemical and scientific experiments in a fun lab setting. Oh, so he's like Bill Nye.
Well, maybe he's an actual scientist, though.
Yeah, Bill Nye's not a real scientist. But still, that's what the show was. It's just like that one pike, like that little doggy. I know, but I couldn't help it. It looked miserable, and it was just, when I know I could give it a better life, so I did. Well, she needs a freaking cave. I don't know why they couldn't put a cave in there. We were just talking about rainwater collecting on my stream today. I might set something up for that. That might be good for certain plants, too. Oh, there was a cartoon, Mr. Wizard? Yeah, now I'm really confused.
I've got no idea.
I know my mom really liked like the Pink Panther and that kind of, so I used to watch like Hanna-Barbera, those cartoons. That's old stuff. I don't know if that's like that era. My mom was born in the 60s.
So no one wants to talk about our spawn, which was the title of the stream. And it's just
it's an Emperor Tetra.
Black Emperor Tetras spawned unexpectedly.
I was so excited when you showed me that, though. I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is,
little fries swimming around.
I really thought they were doing something because I threw them in a 20-gallon that was just, it was chock full of floating plants, and they were just going ham in there. So it's not that surprising, but it's still really cool.
Leo says, I thought it was illegal to collect rainwater. It is in some places like Denver, maybe all of Colorado. I don't know. It's not like a federal thing. It's a state and county. Because how are they going to make money selling you water if you're collecting
in the
it?
dry, where you need the water the most? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's very government-esque. Tudor turtle? I love it. Tudor turtle.
I assumed you already discussed. Nah, I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I just looked over to see how many people were here, and I saw the what did we spawn? I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Mythbusters was terrible.
Oh, it was trash. I did not care for that.
They didn't even do proper experiments, and that's what pissed me off.
They just blew shit up. I feel like that was what they did. Oh.
Congratulations, Bob and Chelsea. A human fry. That is true as well. Somebody here is pregnant, and it's not me. So I'll leave you to
good one.
Figure out who's pregnant here.
That was really good. I'm sure everyone is blown away by that. Yeah.
I heard there are a lot of fires up there right now. Anything close to you? I have not seen or heard of any fire here.
No. No fires.
Usually,
luckily,
if they're bad, we get the smoke from the mountains, but they must be on the other side of the mountains because I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't even.
There's been no sign of fires here, and we're about 35 minutes from the mountains. So if they were on this side of the mountains, we'd know.
I got way more smoke when I was in California, which they have had a mild fire season in comparison to other years. I hope it stays that way. I hope it stays that way everywhere.
How many? I wouldn't put Emperor Tetras in a 20-gallon, to be honest.
No,
they get a lot bigger than you think.
Yes, they do, and I put them there temporarily, and I also wanted to see if they'd spawn, and then I got lazy and just took them out and never checked to see if they spawned, which clearly they had. So.
Ooh, Mountaintop says next attempt to food culture is Asian golden clams. Good luck with that.
Wow, that is ambitious, my friend. I wish you all the luck. Yes, Bob's pregnant. Like he just said he was not.
I don't mean to be ignorant, but are those beautiful fish behind you from your fish room or Dan's fish? The ones that are
from the wet spot.
The rice fish are from the wet spot.
Yeah, those are just black rice fish. They're beautiful. They're really nice black rice fish.
Congrats again, you two. Can't wait to meet Steenfott.
Thank you.
56 months. Holy smokes.
That's forever.
Coming up on 5 years.
A lifetime.
Can you believe I've been on YouTube for 10 years?
It's a long time. A lot can happen in 10 years.
A lot can happen in a year, apparently.
Yeah, we are excellent at making things happen quickly.
We got to make up the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Congratulations, you two. Life will never be the same in the best possible way. We'll hope so, unless I get some bratty kid. Then it's your fault.
There will be some serious consequences if you're bratty. I was a good kid. Like, honestly, I was very strong-willed and I talked a lot, but I was also, my parents, I was very polite. I was like, there were certain things that did not fly in my household, and I feel like I got a good base from that part. So, no brats. It's not allowed. Thank you, Alex.
I think our biggest black emperor tetra is almost 2 inches, if not more.
Yeah, and with
and they're big bodied
right,
too.
they're deep bodied, and honestly, so the Lacordii, which are the rainbow emperors, they get up to 3 inches. Like I've seen adults get quite large, and they're not even the Palmeri, which is what we have. We have the black variant of the Palmeri, and then the Lacordii. They're not the nicest of tetra. They are pretty nippy if you don't have big groups of them. Like I've watched ours pick on each other. And so the more the merrier with them. Like I think at one point I had 30 or so in a 75 gallon because they really will just nip on each other and be pretty rude if you don't have a big group of them. And with a good amount of females and males. If there's too many males, they will really get after each other. I'd say 40 for them. Like
Stephen P. member for 30 months says, I'm ahead of Zen on so many other memberships. Just thought she should know.
There you go. Way to get that in there.
Stephen, I will admit this. When your membership lapsed for whatever reason, I actually cried to Zenny. Like, I was sad. I've never been sad about anyone else canceling their membership. But when I saw you weren't a member anymore, I literally cried to Zen.
Oh, he was sad. He was upset.
I have Fire Ant Tetras arriving Wednesday, and I just finished setting up the spawning tank that they will be going into.
That's exciting.
Those are very nice.
They're really cool.
Moonlight had those for $8 once upon a time.
Oh my God. That's another thing about Moonlight Aquatics is not only do they have a bunch of cool stuff, which we were talking about prior, they have a bunch of cool stuff at Moonlight Aquatics, but the prices on some of these things are just crazy low. Like really just, I mean, we got our Lapis Tetra for
like $8.
$8. And they're normally $20 to $25 a piece, and they're gorgeous. And we have like 24 of them or something. Some ridiculous amount.
Regina, member for 46 months, says, so Stephen P., I've been around. Even Barbara Jackson chiming in is almost at 5 years. 59 months. That's crazy.
I love when people one up each other.
I wonder if there's a 5-year icon yet.
You said that before.
I know, I keep forgetting to look.
Check.
See, Zen has my back. He was genuinely bummed.
Yeah. Yep. That'd be a sad state of affairs, man. Yeah, go check out Moonlight Aquatics. Lots of cool gobies and rainbow fish and all kinds of random stuff. They have the Theri, the Laticara Theri, which I've never even seen in real life before. So
my current card expires in 2026. Thanks for giving me some warning.
Same with me, dude. Whew. Like if there is an can I talk expiration date on something? I'm like, that's when everything ends, and then I have to start all over again because I never remember. Oh, good. Just ordered 9 albino pygmy calories from Moonlight.
Nice.
Very cool. They've got good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff there. Like, I could spend a lot of money there very quickly.
I don't think I've ever seen albino pygmy calories.
I don't think so. I've seen that either. But I'd be interested to. I would be interested.
Leo says, what about, well, I'm not going to cry for you, Argentina, until you get me my Costco membership.
Oh, God.
Then we'll be membership square, right?
Membership.
We'll be even Stevens. We'll both have our memberships.
Yeah.
Even though you paid for both.
Jesus. That seems reasonable.
I don't know. Do you get them for free for working there? I don't know how that works. Best 59 months of my life.
Aww.
Thank you, Ginger.
That's so nice. Ouch.
I think I responded to your email, too, if I remember correctly, Ginger, if you're curious.
Any tips for trying to spawn red panda barbs? I have 6 that have been well conditioned the last 6 months, and I'm ready to pull some. Have 1 male, 5 females.
I'll be honest, the only barbs I've ever spawned are cherry barbs.
I've never spawned barbs. That's a never. So I
and it didn't get much easier than cherry barbs. Like they were insanely easy.
Seems right to me.
He's the only seller I've ever seen with albino pygmy cories. Now I gotta look this up.
He has a lot of stuff that
he has a lot of oddball, like off the wall stuff.
Like some of the gobies he had when we were there last time. I was like, man, I've never seen these before. Like these are very obscure and really well priced. I mean, frankly, for what they are, for stuff I'm like, where do you even get this? I don't even know what this is. Which I love finding fish that I have no clue what they are. My favorite thing is to go into a fish store and go, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, which does not happen a lot. So that's one of the things I really like about Moonlight. I got to give it to him. He's taken some risks probably ordering some of this stuff because it's not bread and butter fish. But if you're really like a hobbyist who's into different things, Moonlight is worth checking out because there's cool stuff. Oh, the sturbai. I do love albino sturbai. I actually had albino sturbai, and they are very pretty, and they were big. I really liked them a lot. Matt spawned Odessa barbs. Those are cool. What? Let me see.
Those things are weird looking.
Oh my god, they're like
They're like little aliens.
they're very I'm not normally a big fan of albino fish. I think I've said I love albino thread fins. That's pretty much I don't really love a lot of albinos, but that's very interesting looking.
We tried to do a store tour from them, but the footage just did not look good, so we have to go do it again.
The lighting was not the best for what we were trying to do. Although there was a lot of cool stuff.
Ginger, we can only do UPS and USPS. We don't have a FedEx location by us. What was your spawning trigger? I just put them in a 10-gallon tank and fed them a lot for the cherry barbs. It took like
I did nothing.
3 or 4 days, and there were fry swimming around. So
That's really easy. Jeez.
well, I'm probably exaggerating.
I mean, just putting them in. That's kind of what I did with the emperor tetras, though. I just threw them in a tank and left them alone. Didn't pay attention to them for like a month. We need Jamie to come use his member milestone chat so we can know how long he's been
I haven't
here.
seen him in a while. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah, he is the winner there, from what I understand.
This fishing, I also spawned them when I was on soft water in Seattle. So I don't know that it would be as easy now because I have hard well water.
Yes.
Which has been proving to be kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's not the easiest.
Surf City Cichlids, welcome back to the Dream Team, my friend. Don't forget we stream every Monday at 3:30 for the members.
It gets weird.
And we usually don't talk fish, so.
It gets really weird. I love it. So random. But I like that random conversation.
Today we talked about the history of slang and swear words.
Yeah.
And
We got a real education on certain things there. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can come join us.
Dan's the wet spot moonlight. You guys, what is it about the Northwest and awesome fish people? I would call Dan Northwest.
He's kind of north,
And
mid-north.
rip red fish, blue fish.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's kind of a weird situation.
Wait, that's what you were telling me about that place, I think.
Well, he sent out the email and basically said we were too successful, so we have to shut down. Which that makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I don't really understand that.
So I don't know. It
Weird.
seems kind of fishy.
A little odd. It's a little fishy.
No accusations by any means, but I've never heard of someone shutting down their business
The
because
only
they're too
thing
successful.
I could think of with like fish keeping is maybe they didn't want to hire more people. Maybe
And that was
it
right after they moved into the bigger warehouse.
Maybe it was too much. Maybe that's what it was. It was just too successful, too much. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm speculating, so I don't know.
Speculation. Our speculation is fun. Our smudge spot Corys as hardy as stirby. I will say no, but I will tell you that similis are very hardy. But stirbys are on another level.
Strirbys are ridiculous.
I would say there's like bronze and peppered are like in their own category, and then stirbys would be in the next category.
That's my favorite Corydora, I think, is a stirby. I just love a stirby Cory. They're just great. We have 8 million of them. There's so many. I've always kept them. Like since I got back into fish keeping, I've always had stirby.
Yeah, I think they'll always be.
They're just a staple, I feel like.
I mean, I think they'll always be my all-time favorite corridors.
They're so cool looking. Like, they're just different looking. They don't look like any other Cory, so. And that's my gripe with a lot of Corydoras. They look so
What
similar.
I really like about the stirbys is the top-down view actually looks
Yeah.
pretty good because of their orange-yellow stripe on
They're
their
really
fins.
cool. Plus, I just like the size. They're a great size. They're not giant, but they're not tiny. Like, they're just perfect size. They go really well with all the cichlids I kept, so that's another reason why I liked them. They did quite well with medium to large cichlids. Someone told me hard water for spawning them. I was going to try soft water and treat them like a tetra. I wasn't sure.
Gold lasers are pretty hardy. Well, I mean, corridors in general are pretty hardy.
Yeah.
I don't like any of the laser corys because
shy.
ours never come out.
Never. And
Only when we feed do they come out.
some of them I had since they were just little tiny nothings too. I'm like, why are you so afraid of everything? They just never. I'm like, for being so GD expensive, come out a little bit more. They are really pretty, though. I mean, I do love them, but
Which Corey have the fade from black to leopard, from the clean fade from black to leopard? Well, the Similis go from like a silver to spots to black, and it kind of fades that way. I'm not sure which ones you're talking about.
oh, yeah, I'm not helpful there. I don't know enough.
They're less common than stir-by, but I would say the Gossier are actually better looking. They're like a stir-by. Same with the Nakii.
I do like those.
The Nakii are like stir-bys without the stripe on the pectoral fins.
Good evening, flatbed. I've noticed if stir-bys are bred poorly and oh, that's no good.
I have never seen a bent spine Corey.
I've never encountered that, but I don't know. I guess anything can happen there.
Have you ever had issues with Corydor's barbs falling off? Falling?
You mean like they rub off, or usually that's substrate?
I have seen them rubbed off.
Yeah, but so like if the sand is too sharp or something. I mean, I've seen them. I actually had a couple that I know my sand was fine because I use the same sand forever, but they randomly would have like missing barbles, and I was like, I don't know what the deal is. I only have a couple of hybrosis.
I bought some from. I would never buy fish from Live Aquaria. I know where I know where those fish come from, and I would not condone those purchases. But if you want to gamble,
isn't that Petco?
Mm-hmm. But I know where Petco gets.
Well,
their
no, I know.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. But that's Petco's online like version of fish retailing. Like that's.
Is it even still in business?
Yeah. Probably because they have cheap stuff, you know. And which I get it. Sometimes they'll have things you're like, ooh, that's such a good deal, but yeah. Rub off on fluval planted substrate.
Oh, on stratum? It's not going to rub off on stratum.
I was going to say that'd be really weird. Soft. Yeah, stir-bys are great.
Now, if you watch this B-roll very closely, there's one large and it's gone. And it's gone.
It's gone.
But speaking of the redfin penguin tetras, here they are.
They're so pretty.
But anyway, in that B-roll, there's one male that swims around in there that's just
huge.
really large.
Yeah, huge. They get quite large. The males get quite large.
Would you think less than me if I get a bunch of bronze cories? I have a bunch of bronze cories.
They're very pretty.
That's what I spawn out in my tub outside, and I love them.
I think they're really pretty.
I think they're incredible looking.
Yeah, they're different looking. Again, they're not just a spotted black and white cory or like, you know what I mean. And I know not. There's more.
How
detail.
dare you?
I know. People are gonna get mad.
No, I love.
Yeah,
bronze
they're great,
cories.
and they're so affordable and hardy. Like, why? What? That's a great fish. Period.
I would highly recommend. I mean, they are. I feel like they're in the category of like the most hardy, like peppered, bronze. I mean, they were in my outdoor tub in 50-degree water. They just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they look good.
Yeah, I would no problem with those. Those are great. I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say I think they can handle a lot of sand too because hi, there you are. Right on cue. I've noticed it randomly with some, but I've never had a problem with it to where it was like a problem, if that makes sense.
Chelsea, false and Julii are adorable. We have some of those too.
We do have those, yeah. They are adorable. They're pretty cute. I like hybrosis a lot. They're darling.
Are Adolpho cories super slow growing? Mine seem very much so. Mine were. I only spawned them once. Well, I should say I saved the eggs once. And they did seem like it took forever for them to grow out.
T-Shot. What's up, guys? Just ordered a pair of Fundalo Panchax Gardneri Masahi. First time with killifish. What's your experience with killifish, if any? I've kept a few different types. The Egger's Eye and...
I have kept Gardneri, and I love them.
I love killifish.
Very tight-fitting lids, because they will find the smallest cracks to jump out of.
That is a true statement. But I've enjoyed the few species I've kept of killifish. Honestly, there just wasn't enough really available, and I always wanted to get blue galaris, but I have never been able to find them. So I think you'll have a good time with them.
My take, well, here's Mitchell's take, and I will agree with him because it's Mitchell. My take on sharp substrate with cories is I don't think it's a substrate itself. I think it's a bacteria buildup that causes infections that wears down the barbels.
That makes sense. I'd buy into that.
I mean,
theory.
I feel like any animal is not going to repeatedly cut its face on stuff.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to believe that Corydors are just down there like slicing off their barbels.
There's my favorite. Look at those Kyber's eye. Love those. I want those real bad. Someone say killifish. See, there's a lot of killifish fanatics out there.
They get super big for the most part, right? I don't know. I would not say a dolphois are a larger species, because my spawning group is probably maybe 2 inches, and I've had them for almost 3 years now.
This sad sack over here.
Go lay down. Go lay down. Almost.
When you tell them to go lay down, they usually just walk around to my side, and then they have to get told again. Because I'm a sucker.
I love my black Venezuelans, especially the little guys still growing. I still can't believe how much those sell for how easy they are to
There's
spawn.
like 8 million of them that we have. There's so many.
I have so many just from spawning them.
They're
And
everywhere.
I quit spawning them because there were so many. But I'm going to be moving them to a dedicated 40-gallon to let them spawn again, because
They just go.
I just can't believe people are still paying like $30 for those fish.
Wild. Bare bottom tanks to me are, I didn't even have like spawning
Boring.
tanks that were bare bottom tanks. I always had sand at least. Like, I don't understand bare bottom. I don't. I know for a lot of people do it with goldfish, but even my goldfish I had, like, they still like stuff.
Very slowly planning my dream 125-gallon barb and clown loach tank. How well do mascara barbs do in a 6-foot tank? They're going to do a lot better than clown loaches.
Yeah, the clown loaches, I was going to
That's
say.
perfect for mascara barbs, but clown loaches get huge.
I would do like 10 mascara barbs and just leave it at that.
In my opinion, I don't think clown loaches should be sold at all.
They get way too big.
And they need to be in large groups.
Way too big. Like, huge.
They're one of my favorite fish. I love them. They're beautiful.
And
but also
they move.
Here's the problem with clown loaches is they look way better when they're small. When they get older, the black bars fade, they turn gray.
Not to try and crush your
and
dream
then
there, Matt.
people get bored of them because they don't look as good. I've never seen someone keep clown loach or clown barbs long term.
I was about to say they're not a long-term fish. That was my next words are going to be exactly that. They're not.
They always get rid of them.
Yeah, they get like. There's very few people who have the actual setup that could house the proper amount of those. It's just not going to happen. Bare bottom makes things easier with discus. I don't argue that it makes things easier. It's just.
Hey, Surf City Slicklids, thank you so
Aw.
much. Says congratulations on your soon to be newborn, guys. As a father of 3, your life is about to become so fulfilled.
That's what everybody says.
I'm very, very excited, and thank you so much. That helps
you.
out a lot.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
That was very, very nice. Yes, they're expensive. My dad would tell me that all the time, how expensive I was. So, but everybody says the same thing. So we're looking forward to it.
I was surprised to see, speaking of eBay, there was Corydora's Hephaestus for sale on eBay.
That's interesting.
And so then I went down this rabbit hole of all these. There's like a lot of rare fish for sale on eBay, which I just find bizarre.
I've found a lot of them.
Really? But I don't know. This just seems weird to me. Like, it's eBay. Who's selling this stuff on eBay? I don't know.
Okay. Wait. Okay, Regina, I had to double check, but okay. Yes, I have seen them. I used to go to dog shows, so I had an idea, and there's so many terriers, so sometimes I get confused with that. Yes, they're wild looking, and they do the stack hairdo. They're very interesting dogs. That would not surprise me at all that somebody has 2 of them. I feel like they're the type of dog that, like, those people probably have those dogs always have 2 of them. They're cool though. I love different types of dogs like that.
T-Shot says, have you guys stumbled upon any dwarf pikes available anywhere?
I have not
I want
seen them
some
for a while.
so bad. Yeah,
You will find compressiceps. I have come, but I would not recommend the compressiceps, honestly.
I think come fall you might see some.
Yeah, they're usually, it's an annual thing with the dwarf pikes. So if I was shooting for dwarf pikes, I'd either do the nodophthalmus like we have or the regani like I used to have also. Both are excellent options for those. They get the same size. They look very similar, but both of them only come around every so often. And I feel like they're never available at the same time. Like it's either you find the regani or you find the nodophthalmus. But keep your eye out though. For years it took me forever to get the 4 or 5 that I had. I mean, it was a very, some of them were from my local fish store and I snagged them while they were there. And every time they got any of them, I was like, I want them. But the compressiceps they're kind of jerks. They're just a little jerky and they're not nearly as, like, the behavior is nothing like you'll get from the nodophthalmus or the regani. But God, keep looking because I've never loved a fish more. I just adore those regani or the nodophthalmus. They're seriously some of the most enjoyable fish. They're so peaceful. We keep them with smaller tetra too. Like there's lapis tetra in there that I decided to put it in when they weren't fully grown, and no pike ever goes after them. They're just so chill. It's amazing. The most they ever do is flare their fins, and they're beautiful, so who cares?
Let's see. Mountaintop says a lot of aquabid stuff seems to have migrated to eBay in recent. Well, aquabid it's dead. Like I've always had issues with aquabids because there's no controls in place for scamming people. It's very easy to scam people on aquabid. Yeah. Incredibly easy, and so that's been my problem for years.
There's no oversight into any of that.
And eBay probably, obviously has a lot more protection against that stuff, but that makes sense. I remember like being on eBay all the time, like 15, 20 years ago, and then it seemed to like died, and I just have never really gone back.
I sold on eBay on the side because I thrifted and sold like high-end clothing and accessories. And I sold on eBay for like 10 years and made a lot of money. And then they started to charge more. And I decided I'd make my own website because enough of that. But eBay served a big purpose in my life for many years.
Holy smokes. T-Shot with the $10 super chat says, holy smokes. I missed the announcement. Congrats, you guys. Whole new world coming. Enjoy every second. I'm a father of 2 girls. It's been a ride. Hey.
I told you.
Well, you're a sucker, so now he's going to come
right back in my lap. Yep. He's playing both sides.
Thank you so much, T-Shot. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And everybody, when I say everybody says the same thing, I mean that in a good way. Like all of my friends, all of the people in our lives are like, just you wait. I believe everybody. I guess I don't know what I'm in store for, but I believe you. So thank you. I had a shrink who had a Bedlington. His daughter was allergic. Yeah. The hypoallergen.
eBay just charges 1,000,000%. Oof.
Yeah, that's why I stopped. I remember when they upped their sellers' fees.
What about Etsy? Are people selling fish on Etsy? Like I see plants on Etsy.
Plants. They don't allow animals on Etsy.
Oh.
The plants is fine, but no animals.
From water changes to diaper changes.
Yeah. I don't know which one's worse. I've changed a lot of diapers though, so I don't know about this guy, but I have. I already know.
Well, you'll be changing my diapers in about 40 more years.
Great. Really looking forward to that. That's why I married him.
Especially since I'm so much older than you.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna have your work cut out for you.
Okay. All right. Arlo, you're so pathetic. The summer swap is coming up. Maybe I'll get lucky and local Cory King will have some fireballs. Hey, that'd be exciting. You've got a Cory King, huh?
Where are you at, Cheryl? Like, where's this swap out? Actually, yeah, that's the better question. Where's the swap? Chelsea, have the dogs been more attentive? Mine were crazy lovey-dovey when I was pregnant.
They always pay a lot of attention. I don't know, because I pay a lot of attention to them.
They're all pretty affectionate dogs to begin with.
Yeah, especially this one. This one is extreme. Just touch him at all times, and he's fine. I could just do this, and I feel like he'd be fine with it. He's the one who, if I go lay down for like 2 seconds, just like with my feet out, he comes and plants himself like right between your feet. He just wants to be touching you all the time. So I can't tell.
Bob, are you allergic to diapers? Ooh, I am allergic.
Are you?
Yep.
You can get a shot for that.
Nope.
Yeah. Shots. There's shots for allergies. You'll be fine. Or you'll just be around it so much it'll go
Ram
away.
Phonics says I bought Florida flagfish on eBay.
Ooh,
or
cool.
Etsy.
Did you? They weren't supposed to be sold there. You're not supposed to. I know because I've looked into it. Like it's not. They're not. You're not supposed to do live animals unless they've changed something.
Buying on
recently.
Aquabid since 2007. Ooh, I wonder
bold,
when
buddy.
my. See, my Aquabid name is not my channel name, so I can, which I like because I can buy stuff without people knowing who I am. Man, when did I make my first purchase? Maybe 2012 ish. My first Aquabid purchase was Parasiprochromis, the blue neons, and they all died. They showed up dead, and I was very
God.
angry
That's upsetting.
because the person that sold them to me sent like half-inch fry, and
That
was
was-
nothing like
that's-
was
Yeah, that's
advertised.
dumb. Etsy is my source of income. Fees are not terrible, yet it's bloated and becoming more like eBay. I've noticed that it has become. Etsy was a very small marketplace for a long time when I first started looking at it and buying stuff on it. It was very small. It was for artists. It was for vintage, and now it's really gotten a lot larger. I sold on Poshmark. I still do, but I sold on Poshmark for a long time until it became just like that, very bloated. That's a good way to put it. Like very just overstocked with the same stuff. Still works, but you know. I made a lot of money on eBay for a long time. A lot. So I'm still grateful for that because it was really nice to have that side income.
Mountaintop says my Aquabid name is also not my name for the same reasons. I will say my eBay name is Steenfott Aquatics, which is kind of annoying.
Shocking. Are you gonna be figuring out cloth diapers? Ugh, none of that. I'm sorry. I can't bleh. No.
The swaps are held in Missouri. Oh, well, definitely not making that one.
Sorry.
That's a bit too far.
Yes, Ross, you're one of the good ones, though. I can't.
Oh.
I can't say that everybody's like you on Aquabid. I don't think.
Zen Ginger
Okay.
says my only Aquabid purchase was this quad red epistogramma from Thunder like 3 or 4 years ago. I wonder whatever happened to Thunder Aquatics. He had really nice cockatoides, the quad reds. Those are really nice.
The freaking doodles, man. There are so many doodles out there. It is my aunt when the doodles came out, my aunt and uncle, they were like on it and they had 2 doodles, which I love. They were great. Reagan and Palmer. They were great, but they're everywhere now. You cannot like everybody has a doodle.
Mitchell says I recently bought some rare darters for the first time. Seller on Aquabid. It was bad. Ziploc
Oh,
bags
no.
in the mail for 4 days. Ugh.
Oh god.
The real question is, did they refund shipping as well?
Yeah, I hope so.
When I
That's
sold fish, if
ridiculous.
there was a problem, I refunded all of it.
Which is rare. People don't normally do that, but I think they a lot of them let you know now, like you're gonna eat it if on the shipping, no matter what.
Eric, thanks so much, buddy. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Oh, Arlo.
Mickham says, congrats on the good news. I'm mostly replay crew these days. Love your streams, by the way. My Episto life can end now.
Got a pair of.
I got a pair of
Coolandari.
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 I want to see what that is. God, I'm learning things today.
Those are very pretty epistogrammas.
Oh, are they? Why
Yeah.
am I not? Oh, I know what they are.
Mhm.
That's okay. Okay, I got it. I
Mm-hmm.
was just looking at those not long ago, actually. Yes, I know I'm not wrong, sadly, Regina, because every freaking person I knew had a doodle. We grew up with Queensland Healers. Nobody ever knew what my dog was. They're like, what the hell is that? That's what people said. And then when he tried to bite them because they were running around and he was like hurting them, they thought he was mean. And I'm like, he's not mean. He's just smarter than you. He's trying to make you behave. But that's what my experience was with dogs.
No refund on the shipping, but sometimes I still take a chance on something I never
I
see.
get it. I've done it. I mean, I would do it. I totally understand that. That's kind of the way Exotic Aquarium used to be in Sacramento. That's how I went into it whenever I bought anything. Was like, this could be dead in a week, but I'm never gonna find it anywhere else. So,
When I bought the Parasiprochromis, the guy was like, well, I'll refund you, but I don't refund shipping. And I'm like, well, I'm going to leave you a bad review. Like, I don't even care because
that's ridiculous.
these should not have even been shipped. Like, anyone who ships Cyprichromis or Parasiprochromis knows, like, their spines snap so easily in shipping. The smaller they are, the easier they snap.
Because they're so long and thin.
And it was, they were seriously only like a half inch. And I was so mad.
That's sad.
And then finally he was like, fine, if you don't give me a bad review, I'll refund everything.
Peacock gudgeons with veil tail, cherry barbs, and heavily planted 29. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it could work. I don't see why that would be an issue.
I definitely look at the reviews first in Aquabid. Some of that stuff I need is, or some of the stuff I need is only there. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, 10 years ago, Aquabid was like where it's at. That's where you found all the cool stuff.
Now it's just Dan's fish.
I
too.
know. Now 50% of it is
It's
Dan's
all
fish.
Dan's fish. 'Cause I'll see
Or
something cool. I'm like, oh, it's Dan.
or the people that buy from Seagrest and resell.
But mostly Dan's fish. Like, it makes me laugh. It's so funny.
I feel like there's room for someone to really do that well, but I don't know that anyone wants to take that
Yeah.
challenge. Like, the ROI is probably not there.
I wouldn't think so. It still can't be worse than these two German Shepherds, giant fluff. But yeah, that's a lot of hair. That falls out everywhere. Doodles are designer dogs. A fish equivalent. A electric blue Jack Dempsey. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what did someone create. I don't know.
I made a live aquarium refund my shipping too. The heat pack was right up against the Cardinal Tetra bag.
Great, just cooked
Jeez.
them, huh? Lovely. 30. Jesus, yeah, I'd be mad. That's ridiculous. That's one of those things where if they didn't just do it, I would call and cancel it with my like the card provider. I'd be like, nope, 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 and hopefully use your credit card because it's much easier with a credit card than it is with a debit card. But still, and I don't do that a lot. I've only done that a few times when it was like really like somebody really screwed me over, and I'm like, you know what?
Ah, you're one of those chargeback people, huh?
I know I'm not. I've done it a few times when they really deserved it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're gonna do that. Okay, alrighty.
You gotta monitor your blood pressure now.
I'm gonna lose it.
Well, don't. You can't. You're pregnant now. You gotta
Oh,
get
okay.
low blood pressure.
I'm just.
That's what the doctor said. Don't get worked up.
Oh, I'm worked up. I swear to God, this is my life.
Well, that's a good start. Confess your sins.
Oh, it's gonna be a good night.
My issue is that you don't control shipping, which keeps increasing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very high now most places. I knew when what's it called when Imperial raised their shipping, I was like, oh, we're all screwed. The last bit of good shit. Well, no, that's not true. The wet spots shipping is fair.
You can control shipping and making sure you're doing everything right. Like Dan, for instance.
Very, very right with Dan shipping. Yeah.
There you do have a lot of control. Now you can't control when the FedEx guy just throws your boxes and
they will. Obviously, we all know they will.
But you can do your part.
Right. And if you make sure you're part of your part is making sure you're buying from a place like Dan's or the Wet Spot where they care about the fish and they're shipping them the way they should be shipped. That's a big deal. I've never purchased anything personally from a hobbyist either that was poorly packaged. When I bought 10 checkerboard cichlids and 10 Ivanacara atiqueta, so the zebra acara, from a breeder in Oregon. And these were tiny little like itty bitty fish, and they were all individually bagged like the way Dan bags his fish. They were all bagged like that. I was so impressed. It must have taken this girl forever, but they were all in perfect health because she put a lot of time and effort into packaging them, and I was very appreciative. Plus, I got all that for $200. Score. That was a good deal.
Mitchell says, well, there are the Indonesian sellers as well, but man, I'm not going to spend import money on an Aquabid auction. Yeah, I don't. That blows my mind because, I mean, all of that seems very scammy to me. Like, you're going to get a trans-shipper for Aquabid?
Well, yeah. See, the thing is that trans-shippers are great if you know them. Like, we have a trans-shipper in Sacramento named Julie. I think it's 916 Aquatics is her storefront, and she's great. Like, if you have somebody like that, but, like, I wouldn't trust that situation. I feel like that's a little... Yeah, Candy. You know. Yeah. Word.
Oh, there's a 5-year. I think Candy is, like, 4th on the
There's
list.
a mic drop moment.
I actually think Fish Tank Barn might be ahead of Candy.
Oh, really? Oh,
I think Fish Tank Barn is number 2.
How come... this is a real question, and Regina, I'm sure maybe you've noticed this also. There is a huge influx in Aussies, mini Aussies, and Queensland Healers being kept, like, by people who just live in the city or, like, not farms where they should be or in situations, but, like, every person has these dogs now, whereas I used to never see them growing up. Like, everybody had a lab or a golden retriever, and that was how that went.
Mountaintop says, if you have a regular driver, a thank you gift card tends to pay for itself. I will agree. My old roommate was a letter carrier for 20-some years, and the people that left, like, Christmas gifts and things like that, I definitely heard about and got extra attention and extra care.
you get those cool people every now and then that'll ask you like what's in there. Like they're curious to know like what you have. I know when I used to pick up reptiles from like FedEx when they'd hold them, everyone who worked there was so interested to know like what is it, as long as it's not a spider or as long as it's not a snake, like every single time. And I'm like, well, it's a snake, so do you want to see it?
When I picked up my leaf-tailed geckos, they wanted to see him at the FedEx office.
They're always very interested. And I was fortunate that my FedEx location, they were like, we pay so much attention to the ones that are live animals. We put them in a special place. We get them first. We'll go out of our way to intercept if we need to. They really tried hard, and I appreciated that. Ah, yes. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's noticed that. I just feel like a lot of these people have no business having these working dogs, because if you don't work them, they're neurotic and crazy. And by work them, like they're too smart. They need tasks. They're task-minded animals. That's why our Queensland, like he would just jump over the fence and go play in the park, because we were like, well, we're not in charge of you, I guess. Make your own rules. Yes. Good old days when Candy drops in.
It's like the good old days. She's in the member streams.
Yeah, I was going to say, Candy's always there.
Now, if we had like a Nisi appearance, that would be pretty amazing. The original Supermon.
Whenever you say Nisi, I think of Nisi Nash from Reno 911.
I don't know who that is.
She's, what's her name? Rainisha. Officer Rainisha from Reno 911. Okay. Whatever.
But I'm a UPS driver. It's pretty good. She delivers them early every time.
That's nice. That was not the case for my delivery drivers. They were the ones who would sit them on the side the wrong way on purpose.
Working dogs in the city, like Oscars and most tanks, not even nano tanks, like
that
most
is
tanks.
How I feel like
even Oscars in a 55-gallon tank.
Growing up with my dad grew up on farms and stuff. He grew up on acreage and property. He had Queensland Healers his whole life. They went to work with him. They were like working dogs. They were busy. They did things. I think it's really irresponsible to keep a border collie, Aussies, even corgis. I mean, corgis is a little bit, but like dogs that work, they need to work. They don't do well being, just walked. Walking an Aussie is not enough, or a Queensland. They need more than that. My grandma had a border collie that she basically rescued. And he was so, like, she obviously didn't have the setup he needed, but she did her best because she was the best with all animals. And he had made this whole thing up where he ran around the pool. He'd pick up a stick, run around the pool. You'd have to tell him to twirl at the same spot. And if you didn't tell him to twirl, he had to start all over again. And he'd do laps like that for hours because he had nothing else to do. And it's like, you gotta give these animals something to do. Well, Dave, yeah, really though. Dave's trying to appreciate Candy. He's like, well, if it was Nisi, it'd be a big deal. You're a big deal, Candy. In my book.
I didn't say if. I said now if we can also.
Now, well, that changes everything. Alrighty. A dozen donuts is a monthly drop. Oh, that's a good one. I think a lot of people now, for their delivery drivers, I've seen this, they leave like drinks out during the summer, like water and other drinks, snacks and stuff, like just those little bags of chips. I'm sure they appreciate that too. Grab a drink, grab a snack while you're out running errands in the heat. I'd totally get a Queensland Healer in the future, but not. They're such great dogs. They're just high maintenance animals. Like and if you're willing to put the effort in, then they're great. But if you're not, they're going to destroy your whole life. It's the same thing like with huskies if you don't pay attention to them. Because I had a husky too. Like they're smart. They want to do things. They want to be able to do more than just sit in a yard.
Leo, you're too young to know the original Supermod.
You're so annoying. My God. Checking history is important on Aquabid sellers. Yeah. But I feel like, okay, to use what he said kind of against the situation, you can get a lot of times you can get people who F up or do stupid stuff if you're like, fine, I won't leave you a bad review. So you know what I mean? But like, how many of those situations are there that we don't know about? And I feel like some people buy reviews. I don't know. It just.
Well, the problem with Aquabid is you can make your own reviews.
Oh, God.
So because gross. The money doesn't go through Aquabid, you can list an auction and you can buy it yourself, and then leave your own review.
Ew, that's right, because it's PayPal usually or whatever they choose.
So there's nothing in place at Aquabid to stop that.
The only thing I ever bought on Aquabid that I actually followed through on was my 10 checkerboards and my 10 Adaketos. That was it. and I had a great experience. 33. Oh boy.
You're young in the fish fam. You're too young in the fish fam to know.
Oh God, I'll be another year older on Friday. I forgot about that. I am one of those people, though. I feel like that.
Another day older and deeper in debt.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I owe my soul to the company store.
Hi, Arlo. Glad you have your pacifier in my face. That dog and his passy. I swear to God. I mean, I also, with feedback, the reviews that I trust, and this isn't like for Aquabid specifically, but just anywhere, I have to read the reviews and then decide which ones are actually like, go through all the like lists, the checklist in my head of like, okay, is it a sponsored review? Are they articulate? Like, I have to really get into that and see, is this real? Is this real? Because I don't know.
That's impressive. Well, see, it's not impressive because it can be done in a matter of like an hour. You can get yourself 40 or 50 reviews.
You just have to do it over and over and over.
It's not hard at all. So I'm very wary when I see reviews left by the same user. Like, oh, this person's bought like 15 auctions from this guy. Maybe.
I do agree that it is less effort to just be good. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There will be no pink anything in this household.
I hate pink. I already said, like, it sucks if it's a girl because it's going to wear, like, all boys' clothes. Like, or stuff with dinosaurs. Like what I'm wearing. Stuff with dinosaurs or fish. Animals are fine, but no pink.
And I'm not trying to say that, like, Aquabed is a terrible place to buy fish. I'm just saying you need to be careful.
Yeah.
Because I've known multiple... I'm probably a little skewed in that I have a large audience that when anytime someone gets scammed, like they tell me about it. So I probably hear about it a lot more than most people versus like nobody ever messaged me and it's like, I had a good experience on Aquabid. No, people messaged me like, oh, I just got screwed.
Yes, looking at tanks does lower my blood pressure, except for not being able to just dig in them and do what I want to do because I technically can't do that does bother me. What really raises my blood pressure is driving. That's probably when I get the most pissed off. But he does most of that, so I don't, get there. Yeah, I just want to see that reviews look legitimate because I like if somebody says, yeah, they were great. I'm like, okay, you're automatically counted out. Like that does nothing for me. Because if I leave a review, which I don't frequently do, but if I do, I'm writing like a novella. Like it's going to be like, you're going to hear about it.
Crystal's Pets and Plants, good evening to you as well.
Good evening.
Go get it.
Whoa. Because there's bacteria and like one of the main things, because there's a lot of stuff that's like they tell you not to do that you're like, okay, I can still in moderation.
Oh, there's some barbells.
But like
he's coming right at you.
It's coming right for us. But yeah, I just can't like it's all the bacteria. I just have to be really careful and wash my hands and like not, but I'm usually like a mess when I'm doing that. I just grab everything and touch everything and I normally don't care. I just have to be cognizant. Water changes. Yeah, I can't do water changes. They raise my blood pressure. Can't do it. Can't do it. No, but fish tanks are definitely a blood pressure lowerer. Like that's something that absolutely helps you chill out. But our fish room is pretty warm, so when it's summertime, it can get a little overwhelming the longer you're in there.
I love it. We can open up all the doors.
Yeah, that is nice. The doors can be open, but in the wintertime it feels great. Love it then. Yeah, I still have to, I don't know. I got to figure out how I'm going to, it's hard because I have a lot of dirt that I want to dig in, and that's
you got to get them gloves that go up to your shoulder.
God, great.
I
hate that. I hate that. I'm gonna look like I'm gonna do like cow insemination or something. Like
I was gonna say you're gonna look like a chemist, but you went that route.
Yeah, I did.
That works.
Like the farm route. Hi again. There's a bone in my face. There's a snake in my boots. Get out of here. People who have good experiences tell 0 to 2 people about it. People who have bad experiences tell yeah, absolutely. Totally. There's far less people who are willing to leave good reviews than bad reviews. For sure. I know that because with eBay, like I would have to really, I mean, I had perfect feedback on eBay. And I remember one person tried to pull some garbage and I had to cave and I had to refund. They were lying, like outright lying. And even they knew it, eBay knew it, but they favor the buyer always on eBay. So my daughter didn't say any words or even try until she was 11 months. Then she sat in my lap and recited an entire sentence. My mind is blown. She's even not a puppy.
Our fish room is off-site.
Regarding killie eggs, we and our club share Aquabid info too before buying. That's a good idea. You don't last long as a bad seller. Reputation is crucial for that makes sense. That's nice. So if you have other people you trust that you can ask, it's very helpful. Every single time, if I can get advice from somebody or if I know somebody who's had an experience, I will try it out, and see how it goes. He just keeps coming back for more.
Drop it. Okay.
See, the whole buying eggs thing, like the rice fish eggs you can buy from like Japan that are crazy expensive. And that's an eBay thing that I've always been like, yeah, it's tempting because I'd love some gold lames, but that's all right. I talked a lot always, shockingly. My mom's like,
you
started talking way before you should have, and you never shut up. It's like, yeah, it sounds right.
And you still haven't.
Yep. That's generally what everybody says. It's true. I walked really early. I talked really early, and that was that. Shocking.
I put cameras in the fish room when we go out of town, but not when we're like when we go to the wet spot. I'll put cameras in the fish room.
Pipe down.
And mainly just to monitor temperature.
Come here, beefcake. Yeah. When I start talking, I would recite like movie lines in the grocery store. My mom's like, Peeb, you'd have an audience. She's like, you'd have an audience around you. And it was hilarious. I believe that I did that. Sounds right. Oh, okay. I gotta move because my butt is like completely numb. There we go. Also, if we're out of town, we have people watching the fish. So if there was some issue, we would be notified of said issue.
Any loach babies?
I wish.
No, but to be honest, I haven't even tried to spawn any loaches.
I wish they would randomly just have babies, though. That'd be great. God, baby loaches. Oh, I love that. Like long. That's why I love crebensis fry, because they're little hot dogs. I love it. A long fry.
Our Draken Felsi are growing out really slow.
they
I don't know
are
if anyone's
taking a
ever
while.
spawned those, but man, they're the
Normally my
slowest growing pelvic chromis I've
yes,
seen in
I was
my
gonna
life.
say my pelvic chromis are like adults by now, and these guys are just.
They're still like an inch. We
They're
spawned them like 2
teeny.
months ago.
To be fair, Draken Felsi are a little smaller overall than like a lot of different cribs or a lot of different pelvic chromis, like crebensis. Like they're pretty small, especially the females. Like female's like 1.5 inches. She's tiny. We're there a lot.
I hear loaches are difficult to breed. Like anything, there's easy ones. Like Hillstream loaches are pretty easy to spawn. But they're definitely not like for beginners.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that. I don't know if it's maybe that people don't try it as much. Like I don't ever hear of anybody saying they're trying to spawn their loaches.
There's not a lot of loach people like there are plecos or cories or guppies. I can name one loach breeder like Mark Duffel.
That's a fun name.
And I could name you a billion pleco and cory breeders, but
if we had a puffer or pike cam, it would be set off all the time because of all the other fish they live with. Like it would be hard to even see what's going on because there's like the pikes that tank's very busy. There's always something getting in front of the other one, like always. No, I still cook, but it's because I'm a control freak. It's not that I'm sure if I asked him to cook, he would. He's offered before, and I'm just like, no, because I have problems. I own that. That's fine. I like to be in control of the cooking. I'm very specific on how I want things made, so I don't mind. And I like cooking. I enjoy it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, here we go. Loudmouth McGee over here. He goes at everything mouth wide open. It's the best. He sounds like such a curmudgeon. Lifestyle changes with the dogs when the baby arrives. I mean, I don't think so. I was raised always. We had dogs from the time I've always had a dog, and our dogs were right there doing everything we did with us. So that's how I view dogs. Like your dog, it depresses me to think of dogs that like don't live in the house with like the people that just like put their dogs outside. I hate that.
Never gonna happen here.
The dogs will always be.
They're members of the family.
They're family. Like that's how I was raised. I mean, that is how our dogs. You didn't eat before your animals ate. That was the rule in our house. My mom's like, you can eat when you fed all your animals because they can't feed themselves. And that was with any of them. But we were big animal people, my family. Oh, baby hill streams. That's probably darling.
The only lifestyle changes will be the babies will be walking the dogs.
The babies. The babies?
Mm-hmm.
There's one baby.
Oh.
Just to be clear.
What?
Shut up, God. Don't put that evil on me. Spawned in Inley Lake, red-tailed loach in an outdoor tub. This is a species with spine curvature.
I don't think I've seen the Inley Lake red-tailed loach.
Is that the one Dan had?
No, those were hillstream loaches.
Oh, I'm combining two different things now because I was reading Zen's.
I've had Lake Inley Danios.
I was like, why does that sound so familiar to me? That's why, maybe. That's exciting, though. Baby hillstream loaches is probably darling. No twins.
I need to find a Castle Grayskull in good condition. That's what I'm after.
Castle Grayskull is pretty dope.
For the baby, I swear it's not for me.
I know, because I would play with Castle Grayskull.
So if anyone knows where one is and wants to send me one.
Yeah. Matt, I sold that Teddy Ruxpin that I found at the thrift store years ago. I had a Teddy Ruxpin growing up, and then I found it at the thrift store, and I think I sold it for $100. Like, it was like $20. I sold it for $100, so not bad. And it had like the working tape. Oh my God, it was so creepy. I loved it. I know about those loaches. 6-8 years ago, a new seller tried selling 4 post items off of the rare Diopteron species. My LFS said to be able to collect 20 plus eggs in a week, you probably need 3 to 4 pairs. Word spread between clubs. Oh, well, yeah,
I feel like the killifish people are like a really close-knit group of people.
It's not a whole lot. It's not a big faction of people.
They need more love, though. They need more exposure.
I think the fact that like a lot of them are annuals and people just think they're going to drop dead after a year, which isn't the case. I mean, yes, they don't live long, but I've kept annuals. I
mean, some of them are pretty expensive for a fish that lives like 2 to 3 years. I'll be honest, but still, they're still cool.
I feel like a lot of people spend a lot of money and kill fish anyways, and I know that's not a good thing, but like there are some fish that just aren't going to make it regardless. But yeah, I guess paying $50 for a pair of fish that you know isn't going to be long for this world. Plus, it's just sad knowing you have a very small timeline with something, but they're still really cool fish.
Dwarf chain loaches are probably possible. Yeah, I know a wholesaler that sells captive bred dwarf chain loaches.
I love ours. They're so
Now, they're a wholesaler, so they could be lying, but
who knows?
Sometimes not the most honest people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's the truth.
But anyways, it is dinner time here. It is 6:30. Dogs are getting rowdy. It means it's time to go out and let them run around. So we're going to go take the dogs out. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to the super chatters, the commenters, the lurkers, most importantly. There's way more lurkers than anyone else, so you guys are important. Mods, thank you. And I guess just thank you to everyone.
Thank you very. Oh, my pet monster. Yes, my neighbor had one of those. I loved it. Sorry, Micro Machines.
I
love
was
Micro
really into
Machines.
Micro Machines.
I had a very extensive Hot Wheels collection, so not to brag.
Nancy,
but-
just in time for us to leave. Thank you so much for the $20
Thank
super
you,
chat
Nancy.
earlier.
I'm
That
glad
means a
you're-
lot to us.
I'm glad you're back for us to say thank you to you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody.
And
goodbye.
We'll be here again next week, same time. Our break is over, so we'll be
Yeah.
back to streaming every week.
Back to work.
And yeah, that's all I got for you. Use those discount codes. Go buy fish, all that jazz. And
That's it.
that's it.
That's all.
That's
Bye.
all, folks. Thank you, Curtis.
Good looking out, buddy.
See you next Tuesday, Curtis.